everyone, welcome back to our channel Code for Tech Solutions. Today in this video we are going to cover a new topic, like we are going to see how we can create a class-based reviews in Python Django REST Framework. So this video will help you to master in class-based reviews, and we are going to see one practical examples from scratch so that you will learn class-based reviews better. So first we should know what is class-based reviews. Like class-based review is basically we are going to create different classes for different CRUD operations, so that each class will handle some operations, and we are going to see in practical example, and we are going to implement the same. So class-based review offer more abstraction, and it will help us to organize views logically. Okay, so without any further ado, so let us jump into the coding part. Now we have this VS Code instance. Here we can create our first of all we can install the dependencies. What all dependencies we need? Like first we need Django. It's a web framework for creating a web development project in Django in Python. We can use this. So with pip command we can install the libraries and packages in Python. Next we can use the Django REST Framework. So this is another framework with which it will help us to create and build REST APIs in Python web development. So now if you want to list down see what all things are installed, like it will show us all these things we have installed. Like this is the Django REST framework, and this is the Django framework. Okay, fine. Now next thing, like what we can do now, let us create one Django project using command Django admin start project, and we can give our project name. Let's say consumer. It's consumer project. So this command will create a project for us. So now you can see in the left pane it has created default files and folders along with manage.python file. Now let us go to our project folder first, and next thing what we can do, we can create one application inside this. So to create that we can use python manage.py, and this is the command we can use. Like we can create application with name API. So why we have created this API application? Like we are going to create the REST APIs, and that we are going to store keep inside this folder. Okay, fine. Next thing, like we can go to settings.py, and we can add what all things we have added in installed apps. Like we have REST framework. Next we have created one application with name API, and we have added, and by default it is using the SQLite database. Okay, fine. Now next thing what we can do, we are going to create one model. Now let us go to the model it here, and we can create one class which is for consumer, and here we can use our models dot model. Next we can define some attributes, like let's say consumer name. We can use char field models dot char field, and here we can use max length, let's say 100. Similar way we can use consumer email, and let's say consumer location. Fine. Now let us create one here. We can use self dot name we can return. Fine. So we have created one consumer class. Now we can create one serializer. So why we need to create a serializer? Because we are going to convert this consumer model instance into the JSON format. So for that we require a serializer. We can create one file with name serializers.py. Now here we can use, like, we can take the packages from REST framework, and this is the serializers package, and we can use our import the model which is consumer. Now we can create one class with name, let's say here we can give name as a consumer serializer, and here we can use serializers dot, it's a model serializer. So next thing, like, we can use class as a meta, and here class some meta, and after that it's a colon. Next we can use what is our model, which is consumer, and next for fields we can say it is for all fields, and we can save it. Now we have created a serializer successfully, and the purpose of the serializer is to convert our model instance into the JSON format. Now next thing, like, let us migrate this to the database, so that to create a schema on the database side, because we are using, as we have seen in our settings.py Python file, we are using SQLite database by default. Now we need to create a schema on that database. So for that we can use one command like python manage.py, and here we can use make migrations, so that it will prepare a file for creating the schema on the database side. We can see it has created DB SQLite. It is a binary file. Now we can run our actual migrate command, so that it will create actual schema on the database side based on the model. Yes, we can see it has created. Now next thing, like, we can create one view. Now we are coming on our main point, like, we are going to see how we can create a class based view in this. Now first of all we need to import our REST framework classes, and we can use like generics, and here we can import our consumer serializer. Next we need to create one class. Now here for each operations we can create different classes, but for now we can club now 2 or 3 operations within a single class. So let us see how we can do that. Like, let's say it's a consumer list create view. So this is one class, and here we can say generics dot list create API view. Now next thing, like, we can add query set, and here we can say it's for consumer dot. So here we need to add import for that one. So we can say dot models, and we can import it. This is the consumer, okay, and here we can add consumer and objects dot all. So this is for retrieving all object. Next we can add serializer class, and the serializer class is consumer serializer in our case. So this is about this method, this class is about will handle the like create and get all methods. Okay, so get all, it will handle create and get all. Like here is the, sorry, here is the create, get all and create method. Now let us create one more class, and here we can give this class name like uh, we need to retrieve object on basis of what id we pass. We need to update it, update and destroy, or delete view, you can say delete view, and let us remove the rest of the part. Now here we need to choose appropriate API. Like here we have retrieve and update and destroy view, destroy API view. We can choose this one, which will cover like get, update and delete. So this get is specific for a particular consumer, and this get is for retrieving all the consumers. Now we have used appropriate API for here on inside generics. Now rest of the things will be as is. Fine. So here we have created a separate classes for operations, and we have seen how we can create different classes for operations using this class based review option. Okay, so next thing, what we need to configure these things in as an URL. So let us do that. So here first of all we can create one URLs for our applications. Now let us do that. We need to import django.urls, and here we can actually import path. Next thing, like we can import all from views. Now let us create URL patterns. It's an array, and here we can mention what all paths we are going to use. Like first is the consumers as an endpoint, and here we can add our views dot, and here we can mention what we need. Like this is the for retrieving all the retrieving and creation view we can add, and we can say dot as view. Next we can give some name, like let's say here we can mention like consumer list and create. Yes, we need to correct the path spelling. Fine. Similar way we can create one more thing, like this is for consumers, and here we are going to retrieve for, like let's say this is the primary key for integer id of consumer. Based on id we are going to retrieve okay, so here you can call is dot, sorry, here it should be consumer now let us take copy that. Okay, so this is the class name, we can copy and edit it here, and here we can say it's as underscore view. We can mention it here as well, and here as well, and we can give some name like it's an consumer like retrieve, update and delete. That's it. And give comma it here. So we have configured endpoints with this path, and these are the views we have mapped up with this endpoint path. Now let us do like a similar way. We need to add the URL configuration to our project. So here we can add one more path it here, like this is the path, and here we can add our application related URLs. We need to include that. For that we need to first import the include, and here we can include actual application URLs, like these are the API.urls. Seems good. Now we can save it. So we have completed all the things step by step. So here like we have created application URLs, and these are the project URLs we have configured. Okay, fine. Now next thing what we can do, now let us create one super user. So for that we can use command python manage.py, and we can use create super user. We can give some username, my email we can keep blank for now, and we can give some password. Again we can enter the password. Now for now we are bypassing the validation part, and it will create the super user. You can see the message like super user created successfully. Now next thing what we can do, like we can run our application and check. So we can use this command python manage.py, and we can use this run server command. So let us check how it goes. Now seems good. We can see it has started with development server. Now let us click on this link. Fine. Now here what are the endpoints we are using, like this is the API link, and if we go to URLs, here we can see we have consumer endpoint, the same endpoint along with API we need to add it here, API, and we can say consumers, and we can see it is showing us the UI, and this is the Django REST Framework user interface, like UI, which with the help of this UI we can perform all the CRUD operations. Now here right now if we see the list is empty because we have not added anything. Let us add one consumer, like we can add one consumer, like let's say it's Sipla, and email Sipla mngr@sipla.com, and here we can add one location, let's say it's a Pune, and we can click on this one. We can see one consumer is successfully added. Like similar way, if you want to add one more customer, so let's say it's a Reddy, and here we can add Reddy, and here we can add it's a reddy.com, and we can say it's a Bangalore. We can add, so we can see it has added second record successfully. Now if you see the list, we can see we have 2 records added successfully. Now what next we can do, like so these 2 records we have seen, and this has covered in our single class, which is like consumer list create view. So for this get all and create, we have created one class, and for next, like we need to retrieve the object. So if we pass the ID, so accordingly it will fetch the ID. Let us say if we add here like ID second, it will retrieve the second ID. Seems good. Now if you want to modify this, like we can say instead of Reddy, we can use like Sun Pharma, and here we can say director Sun Pharma at the rate like sunpharma.com, and here we can say it's an Mumbai, and we can update it. Now we can say second record is successfully updated as expected. Now let us check the list again. Now we can see this the list with the updated record. Now if you want to delete any record, like we can say we can add delete. First we need to enter the id for the record which need to be deleted. Now we have this delete option, we can simply click on that, and once we confirm for deletion, the record will get deleted. Now if you go back and see the list, we have only one record, because the second record we have just deleted. So here you understand that why it is class based view. We call it like it provides like more abstraction in the terms of classes, like we can create different classes for different operations, and on basis of these classes the views will get called and rendered. Now this is about the class based view. So I hope you must have enjoyed this. Please do not forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you so much for watching this.